Yes, good evening, guys. Can you hear me? Am I audible? Hmm? Online, can you hear me, guys? Am I audible? Good evening, More. Good evening, Venkatesh. Upasna, good evening. Chiranjeevi, good evening. Priya, good evening. More Shamrao, right? Yes, Shamrao, good evening. Right. So, can we? So, let's get started. So, ये Zoom meeting है आपका बच्चा किधर जाएगा बोले समझ में नहीं आ रहा है यहाँ पे. How I need to close this one, I'm unable to understand. So, it's disturbing. Minimize only I did. So we don't have any close option here. Zoom meeting आपका जो बच्चा है जैसा है वो बगल में, right? So who's speaking? Imran Sheikh speaking, talking बोल के आ रहा है यहाँ पे. Then I'll keep my I'll keep here an image also. वो अच्छा नहीं दिखा इसलिए निकाल दिया था मैं, right? Okay. So right guys, let's get started. Let's get started. Today we are going to discuss about the user management practical session, right? So yesterday we did theoretical part. Today we are going to complete practice, right? So कल हम लोग ये बनाए थे document, right? So this document we did yesterday. So now we are going to discuss user management concept according to this document, right? So let's get started. Today we are going to discuss about user management as well as group management also, right? आज भी 8 बजे छोड़ूंगा, right? Huh? Yes guys, 8 बजे छोड़ूंगा आज. It's okay. No? Why? So let's get started. Login as a root user. So now we are going to create few user accounts. Okay. So user add is a command, right guys? User add is a command for creating the user account, right? So now we are trying to creating the user called U1. So U1 user account, it got created. So from where we need to get the U1's properties? Yesterday we discussed, if you are trying to creating the user account, those user related properties, it is going to store inside the etc password file, right? So usually, so we are going to use less command than etc password. Open this file, right? See guys, you know now very well about this file. While we are discussing about VIM editor, you people, what you said? So it's looking a little bit clumsy. We are unable to understand the content of this file like that, right? So this is a time to discuss. Already we discussed yesterday. Now you are going to understand exactly what kind of content we'll have in this file. See, First field, username, root. Guys, each and every field is separated with the help of colon. X indicates the password properties. 0 is a UID. 0 is a GID. Root is a comments, right? Slash ROOT is a home directory for root user. So bin bash is a shell environment. So bin is a user, system user. X indicates the password properties. One is a UID, one is a GID. Bin comment slash bin home directory. As bin no login shell will have for this, because we are unable to log in with the help of system user. So su command, it won't work for this. Got it, guys? So bin, so daemon, ADM, LP, sync, shutdown, halt, halt, and mail. So those all FTP, right? So SSH, those all system user. And coming to normal user, student is a normal user. X indicates the password properties of student. So 1000 is a GID, UID. So guys, why 1000? Because we are using RHEL 7.0. From RHEL 7.0 onwards, user IDs and group IDs, it will start normal user ID and normal group ID, it will start from 1000. 1000 to 60,000. By default, we can create 60,000 user accounts into our operating system. We can increase. So recommended more than 4 lakhs. Right, guys? Clear? How we need to change the user IDs and group IDs. So I'll teach you after some time, right? So 1000 is a UID, 1000 is a GID. Student is a command. Home student is a home directory. So bin bash is a shell involvement. So this is an interactive shell. Sbin low login is a non-interactive shell. If you're having sbin no login shell, you are unable to log in. So if you're having bin bash, then only we are going to log in. See, U1 user account, it got created. So X indicates the password properties. 1001 is a UID. So UIDs and GIDs by default, it is going to provide in a sequence order. 1000, 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, like that, till 60,000. Clear, guys? So 1001 is a UID, 1002, 1001 is a GID. There is no comment for U1, right? And home, U1 is a home directory. Bin bash is a shell involvement. So I hope you got it, guys. Guys, remember, no need to use less command every time. While you are trying to creating the user account, user related properties, it is going to append into etc password file. Appending means it is going to add end of the line. So tail is more than enough. Tail command is enough. So because we need last 10 lines, that's enough. Because while you are trying to creating the user account, those user related properties, it is going to append into etc password file. So better to use tail command. So got it, guys? So now we are trying to creating one more user account, but we are going to change the properties according to our requirement. It doesn't need default properties. We require some different properties. I'm going to modify the properties for this user. User add is a command. Okay. U2 is a username. -u. Usually what kind of user ID we are going to get for U2? 1002. But I need 2002. I hope you got it, guys. -u is an option to change the user ID. So at present, don't give small g. You are going to get error because there is no groups. If you having existing group, then it can give -small g. -small g means primary group ID. So we don't have any existing groups. If you having existing group, then you can give the existing group ID. Okay. At present, don't give -g. I'll tell you about -g later after some time. So if you're giving -g, what will happen? You are going to get the error. So no need to bother. So I said, while you are trying to creating the user account, automatically one group it will create, that is primary group, like that. So here, automatically group ID it will create, no need to bother. -c is a comments. For example, we are trying to providing the comments called HR. Then -d to modify the home directory for new user. We are trying to creating the new user. While you're trying to creating the user account along with the creation. So if you need to modify the home directory, we should provide -d option. By default, what kind of home directory we are going to get? /home /u2. But I need /home /dir2. So we can modify the home directory according to our requirement with the help of -d option. -s to change the shell environment. So I'm trying to providing sbin no login shell, non-interactive shell I'm trying to providing. Now U2 user account, it got created successfully. So let's verify tail/etc password. See guys, U2 user account, it got created successfully. X indicates the password properties. 2002 is a UID, 2002 is a GID, HR is a command, home dir2 is a home directory, and sbin no login shell is a shell involvement. I hope you're clear, guys. Yes, no. So can we log in with U1? SU-U1. Then hit enter. Yes, we can. So exit is a command. We are back to root user. Can we log in with U2? It's possible. Yes, no. No. How many people's no? Raise your hands. Half hand. Half answer. Okay. So 2 chocolates for you. Okay. For you, 1 chocolate. Okay. Right, guys. So then see here. We are unable to log in. You need to get 2 Red Bulls for me tomorrow, right? Kal wrong answer, aaj bhi wrong answer, right? So I hope you got it, guys. SU hyphen U2. So what happened? This account is currently not available. Why? Because there is no interactive shell. It's having non-interactive shell. So that's why we are unable to log in. Then if you need to log in with U2, what we need to do? How to change the shell enrollment? Which command we need to use to change the shell enrollment? Huh? Command. कौन सा कमांड यूज करना चाहिए? Which command? Very good. So user mod is a command. Then -s is option to modify the, see guys, for new user add. It's existing user. This one is existing user. To modify the properties for existing user, always we are going to use user mod command. User mod -s is an option. S stands for to change the shell environment. We are trying to providing bin bash. Then to whom? U2. So let's check tail/etc password. See guys, it became bin bash. So try to log in with U2. We can now. So I hope you're clear, guys. Yes, no. So how we need to change the shell environment for existing user, right? So now we need to change the home directory. Then how? Exit from U2. We are back to root user. Actually, what kind of home directory we'll have for U2, guys? Home dir2 will have. So now again, I need to modify as a home U2. Then how we need to modify? User mod. Very good. -m, not S. S for shell. MD for to change the home directory for existing user. M stands for modification. -D means directory. Otherwise, if you want to can use -MD also, it's not a problem. Instead of providing -M, -D, you can use -MD also, it's not a problem. Then home U2 to whom? U2. Simple. So now let's verify tail/etc password. See guys. So login as a U2. Then let's check the PWD. See, the home directory got changed. So I hope you know how to change the properties, how to change the shell environment, how to change the home directory for new user, how to change the home directory for existing user, how to change the user ID, how to change the group ID, we know. Right. So how to rename the user? We have U2 user account, right? So we need to rename as a test user. Then how to rename the user? User mod is a command. -L is option. Then first new name, then old name. So means test user first, then U2. Got it, guys? User mod space -l, then new user name, then existing username or old username, you can say. Now we are trying to renaming U2 as a test user, right? Then hit enter. So let's see guys here, tail slash etc password. See, U2 it became test user. Now we need to use test user to login. You should not use U2. Let's check the PWD. Still it is showing home U2. Now we need to change the home directory manually. How you are going to change the home directory? Exit from student here means test user. We need to back to the root. Then how we need to modify the home directory? User mod -m-d, right? Home slash test-user, then test user. That's it. Before we did with U2, right? So now we modify as a test user now. It got renamed as a test user. So that's why we are trying to changing the home directory as a test user. So now let's verify the properties. Tail etc password. See guys, test user is a username and home test user is a home directory for test user. So if you want to can verify. So login as a test user. Let's execute PWD. Now we got a home test user. I hope you got how to modify the properties for particular user account with the help of user add command, with the help of user mod command, right? C4 to change the comments. So you can write one small description for that particular user, right? Okay. So now how to log the user, how to unlock the user. Capital L is option to log the user. Capital U is option to unlock the user. First, what we need to do in a sense, first of all, we need to assign the password for user account. Before log the user, better to assign the password. So how to assign the password? PASSWD is a command, password is a command, then U1 is a username, then hit enter. So now we are trying to assigning the password, right? See guys, the password it got assigned successfully, right? So guys, if you are trying to log in with root user to any user account, it won't ask any password, remember. So we log in as a root user. So if you need to switch from root user to any user, it won't ask any password. But if you try to log in with normal user, student user is a normal user. Now we are going to log in from student user to U1. Definitely it will ask password. Got it, guys? Root is a supreme user, so that's why no need to provide any password. But student is a normal user. So if you need to switch from one user to another user account, we need to provide the password, right? So already we assigned U1 user's password, right? So we need to provide the U1 user password. We can log in as a U1. I hope you got it, guys. Clear? Then how to log this user? So log in as a root user, right? User mod is a command -capital L U1. Now U1 account, it got locked. U1 account, it got locked, guys, right? Then exit from root user, we are back to student. Then switch from student user to U1, then hit enter. Now I'm trying to providing the password. What will happen? Let's see. We are unable to log in because the user account, it got locked. So that's why. So we are getting one warning message called authentication failed. Authentication failure. So I hope you're clear, guys. Real. So now you people, some people, you'll have some doubt. No, Imran sir, he's using some different password. He's not providing proper password like that, right? Huh? Especially so few people's. Huh? Yes, no. Right, guys? So then how we need to verify really whether it got locked or not? Let's see here. A maximum everybody, they are going to believe me. It's not a problem, right? So let's see, guys, here. PASSWD -capital S is an option. Capital S stands for status. Then U1. LK means locked. Password locked. Got it, guys? For verification purpose. Whether it got locked or not, we need to know. My wrong password diya, right password diya, aapko to pata nahi hai na? So it is not going to visible, right? Yes, no. Then we need to verify really whether it got locked or not. So password space -capital S. Capital S stands for status, right? So U1 is a username, so it got locked. So that's why we are unable to log in. Now, how to unlock? User mod hyphen capital U, then U1. Now it got unlocked. So if you want, you can check the status. See guys, PS means password set. PS means password set. Password set. This is an algorithm we are going to use to assign the password. It's a very strong algorithm. SHA-512 crypt algorithm. Got it? Who completed load balancers, those people, they know very well about SHA-512 algorithms and those all stuff. So got it guys. So clear? Yes, no? So with the help of this algorithm, you're going to assign the encrypted password for user account. So clear? Right. So now you can log in with student user 2, U1 user, and provide the password. We can. So clear guys, how to log the user, how to unlock the user account. It's a very simple. So clear? Right. This is all about user management concept. Now we are going to discuss user properties. Sorry guys, user password properties. User related password properties. If you assign the password for user account, okay, I'll do one thing. User del also I will teach, and then we are going to discuss about user password properties, right? So user del command also we are going to discuss, right? So let it complete the user del, tail etc password. See guys, we'll have two user accounts, U1 and test user. Now how to delete the user? User del is a command, then user name, test user. Now test user, it got deleted guys. If you want, you can check tail etc password. See, there is no test user. But actually what will happen is, since if you're using user del command, user account, it will delete. But user related few properties will have, like home directory. See guys, all the users home directory, where it will locate inside the home, right? So let's check the list inside the home. See, we have test users home directory not deleted. So how to delete the user account with home directory? User del is a command, hyphen R is an option. Recursively, everything we are going to delete. Then U1. So U1 user account, it got deleted successfully. Let's see, tail etc password. See, there is no U1. There is no U1, so it got deleted. So let's check the list. There is no U1 home directory also. If you need to delete the user account with home directory, you need to add hyphen R option. In user del, we'll have only one option, that is hyphen R. So with the help of hyphen R option, we are going to delete the user along with the home directory and mail directories and everything. Clear guys? So got it. So this is all about, if you need to delete this directory, how you are going to delete this directory? Sandhya, how we are going to delete this directory? ఈ డైరెక్టరీని ఎలా డిలీట్ చేస్తాం? How to delete this directory? This is directory, not a user. Directory is a different, user is a different, file is a different. For example, I'm a user, I'm one person. Okay, I have my book, that is my file. I have my bag, that is my directory. I hope you got it guys. So how to delete the directory? rm rf, then directory name. So it got deleted successfully. So clear? So this is all about user management concept. So now we are going to discuss about user password properties. Clear? User password properties. So let's see guys here. I'm going to reset this one again. So now how to create the user account, guys? Which command we need to use? User add is a command, right? Now we are trying to creating one user called U1. U1 user account, it got created successfully. If you want, you can verify tail/etc password. So U1 user will have, right? So how to check the password properties of U1? From where we are going to get the password properties? Shadow file. Very good. So tail/etc shadow is a file name. Got it, guys? Inside the shadow file, so we'll have one user called student. First field is a username. Second field password. Third field last date. And this is minimum age, maximum age, warning, days, and password expiry date, account expiry date, and blank. So let's see here. Now we are going to discuss about /etc shadow file details. Got it, guys? So /etc shadow file details. Inside the shadow file, so we are going to get the password properties of our user. So first field in shadow, username or login name, you can say. Second field, password field. Third field, last date. Sorry. So last date, right, guys? And minimum age, password minimum age. Maximum age, password maximum age, right? Password expiry warning, password expiry warning days. Got it, guys? Next, password expiry date or inactive date, you can say. Password expiry date. Next, account expiry date. Account expiry date. And then blank. So blank field. Total how many fields? 9 fields will have. So first field username, second field password, third field last date means today date. And fourth field minimum age, fifth field maximum age, sixth field we are going to get the warning before 7 days. After 7 days, your password is going to expire like that, right? And password expiry date and seventh field password expiry date, eighth field account expiry date, ninth field blank field. Total 9 fields will have. Clear, guys? I hope you got it. In this concept, we are going to use only one command called chage, change age. So if we having like this command for us, I think it's good for, right? We can change our age, right? So let's see, guys. Yeah, let's check tail etc shadow. See, guys, U1 is a username, first field. Second field password. We didn't assign the password for U1. So that's why we have 2 exclamatory marks here. And this is today date. We are going to get into different format. I'll tell you how we need to get the proper format. Don't worry. Okay. 0 is a minimum age. Password minimum age is a 0 days. So 99999 is a maximum age. And 7 days before we are going to get the warning message. Boss, your password, it is going to expire after 7 days like this. Before 7 days, we are going to get the warning message. Password expiry warning message, right? And then this is account inactive. Sorry, guys. Password inactive or password expiry, you can say. And this is account expiry date. And this is blank field. I hope you're clear. Right? So can we change those all the fields according to our requirement? Let's try to assign the password. What will happen? Let's see password U1. So now we are trying to assigning the password for U1 user account. So now let's verify tail etc shadow. See, guys, see here. So we assign the password. How to remove the password also I will tell you, don't worry, give me some time. So after some time I'll tell you how we need to remove the password, right? So we assign the password for U1 user account. So that's why instead of exclamatory marks, we got one encrypted data there. So this is password. This password it assigned with the help of which algorithm? SHA-512 crypt algorithm, right? So clear? Yes, no? Right. So now we have a command called CHH-L U1. So you are going to get the detailed information about your U1, means password aging information. Got it, guys? Password age information we are going to get related to U1 user. So today date, last date, today date only. Just now we did, right? So June, July 04 and 2024. Next, password expiry. Never. By default, we doesn't have password expiry date, password inactive date, account expiry date. Those three by default we doesn't have. We can assign. We can assign the date, right? And next, minimum number of the days between password change means minimum age. 0 days by default will have. Maximum number of the days between password change. 99999. This is a default. And number of the days of warning before password expire. 7 days before we are going to get the warning message, boss, after 7 days your password is going to expire, like that. So now we need to change those all the fields according to our requirement. How we are going to change those all the fields according to our requirement? CHAge is a command. Don't give any options. Just you need to provide the username to whom we need to change. CHAge space U1. Then hit enter. So minimum password age by default 0 will have. If you need to go with the default value, just hit enter. If you need to provide the new value, then hit enter. For verification purpose, I'm trying to providing 2 days instead of 0. Minimum age of the password 2 days, maximum age 30 days. So 1 month, 30 days is enough, right? So maximum age 30 days. Last password change. So I'm trying to considering this user password from today itself only. From today itself only, we are trying to consider it should work for 30 days. Right, guys? So I'm going with the default value. If you want, you can change. Maybe if you need to consider from day after tomorrow, you can give day after tomorrow date there. Right, guys? So password expiry warning will have 7 days by default. Okay, I'm going to keep 4 days. If I get the warning message before 4 days, that's enough for me. Got it, guys? If I get the warning message before 7 days, maybe I'm going to forget. So that's why what I'm going to do, I'm going to change the warning message info like days also. 4 days before we are going to get. Boss, after 4 days, your password is going to expire, like that, right? And password inactive, -1 will have by default. -1 means exactly 30th day. 30th day. 1 means 31 day. So today, date 04, right? 4. Next month, 3rd, it is going to inactive. 30th day. It will work till 30th day, 30 days. Because maximum age we provided password age 30 days, right? Today 4th, right? Next month 3rd. Clear, guys? So 1 means next month 4th. -1 means next month 3rd, guys. 1 means next month 4th. 31st day. Okay, 31 days. Next, account expiry date. According to requirement, you can give the account expiry days, year, month, date, like that you can give. By default, you will have -1. -1 means next month 3rd, it is going to expire. 1 means next month 4th, it is going to expire. But I am trying to providing my own, like according to my requirement, we are trying to providing our customized date here. Okay. So 2024 and then next month 07, 08, then okay, for example 6, I'm providing 06. So next month 6, it is going to account, it is going to expire, right? CHH-L U1. See, guys, what happened? July 4th today, August 3rd, it is going to expire. Inactive when? Inactive we provided 1, right? So that's why August 4th. And then account expiry date 06. Next month 6th, right? So 2 days minimum age, 30 days maximum age. You're going to get the warning message before 4 days. Clear? If you want, you can check here. Tail/etc shadow. Shadow is a file, then hit enter. See guys, U1 user and this is password. See, this is today date. And see guys, instead of 0, we got a 2. Instead of 99999, we got a 30. Instead of 7, we got a 4. And here we'll have blank, right? So instead of blank field, we got a 1. 1 means 4th, next month 4th. So right, and then this is account expiry date. And there's a blank field. Clear? I hope you got it, guys. So now my requirement is I need to modify the only home director, account expiry date. So we have account expiry date August 6th, right? So I need to modify as a August 5th. Then how? Only account expiry date I need to modify. Then how you are going to modify this one, I think, right? Account expiry date we need to modify. How to modify? CH, age. So if you're providing U1, what will happen? It is going to ask each and everything, right? So doesn't need help, right? You're going to get the options. D, small d for last date, today date we can change. Hyphen capital E, account expiry date. Hyphen small h, help. Hyphen capital I, inactive, password inactive. Hyphen capital, small l, list. M, small m, minimum age. Hyphen capital M, maximum age. No need to bother about this one. Hyphen capital R, no need to bother. This is switch root directory. Hyphen W, capital W, to change the warning days. 7, I think we provided 4 days, right? So we need to change 4 to 2, you wish according to your requirement. Let's see here how to change the account expiry date. So CHH hyphen capital E is option. Then 2024 08, then 05, or otherwise you can give 4 also, it's not a problem, right? 04. Then to whom? U1. Simple. So CHH hyphen L U1. See guys, before we'll have August 6, now it became August 4th. So now I need to modify the warning days. CHH is a command for warning days, W, capital W. Then 2 days before, if I get the message, that's enough for me. So slash shadow, etc. Shadow also can give, or otherwise CHH hyphen L U1 also can give, it's not a problem. So it got changed. So like this, you can modify each and every field with the help of those options. No need to make a note. So log in into your operating system, CHH hyphen help or hyphen H. You're going to get the each and every list. Then you can prepare the notes. It's not a big deal. So most of the people, what they're thinking, if you are unable to make the notes, we are unable to perform the task like that, right? Each and every option we are going to get from our operating system itself only, man, with the help of man command. Then go to home and then prepare the notes clearly. It's not a problem. Though time pade jaisa rehta, and then you are going to get the good knowledge, right? Yes, no. If I'm trying to teaching each and every option related to descriptions and all stuff, it will take more than 4 to 6 months. I hope you got it right. So we are discussing very huge content in basic Linux. In basic Linux also, we are discussing huge content. So usually basic Linux means most of the people, they are going to teach that mkdir command, cat command, ls command, finish basic Linux. We are not discussing like that. So we have huge content. We need to complete within a 30 days, right? So always try to prepare your own notes. Then those, all the documents I will provide you, don't worry, okay? This Word document I will provide you, it's not a problem, right? So clear guys? Yes, no? How to modify the properties related to password. So from where we are going to get the password properties? ETC shadow, right? Okay. So you people, you are doing AWS and DevOps, right? You know very well about IAM, right? IAM, Identity Access Management, right? there will have an option while you are trying to creating the user account. By default, what kind of policy you are going to get for user? Huh? While you are trying to creating the user account in IAM, what kind of default policy that particular user it having? Not started IAM. Okay. So very good. So you're not eligible for this question, right? Vasanta. Huh? Right. Vasanta Singh, right? Mm. Yes, who completed IAM for them? Right. So we'll have user, he can change his password from next login policy. Simple man. I'm a system administrator. I'm trying to creating few user account, right? I'm trying to creating one user account, right? Yes, no, right? For you people, your employees, I'm admin. I'm creating few users for you. Then who's going to assign the password for user? Me only, right? I'm going to assign. Means your password I know. Maybe I can misuse, right? Yes. With the help of your user account, I'm going to log in. I'm going to do some different types of, huh? Yes, no. Then because of me, you people, you're going to lose the job, right? Guys, in real-time environment, please don't share your credentials to your co-employees. Maybe if they misuse, sometimes you're going to lose your job. So that's why we need to keep our username password very secretly. Better to encrypt. Okay. Right, guys? Clear? Using key management services, you can encrypt. So clear? So that's why what we are doing in the sense, we are going to assign one policy for that particular user. That user, while he's trying to log in into his account, he need to change the old password. That is a policy by default you'll have for IAM user. Got it? So like the same way in Linux also we can. So let's see here, exit from root, login as a U1 with student. Then it's asking password. I'm trying to providing password, but it's not probing to us to change the old password, right? Yes, no. Now I'm trying to assigning a policy for this one. And with the help of that policy, we are going to change the old password. User, he can change his old password from next login onwards. From next login onwards. Exit. Login as a root user. Right. And user, sorry guys. Ch is a command. Hyphen small d is option. 0 days for U1. So we are trying to providing 0 days. We are not considering this password from today onwards. 0 days. When he is going to log in, at the time onwards, automatically it is going to assign the date. Let's see here. So now let's check CHH hyphen L U1. See what happens. See. Password must be changed. Got it, guys? So what it's saying, boss, you need to change your password. Password must be changed. So exit from root user, login with student user to U1. Then we need to provide the old password. See guys, it's asking to provide current password. Current password is a Red Hat. Then it's probing to us to provide new password. RHEL@1234. RHEL@1234. Now we assign new password. We set the new password. Then this password only you and user he know. Even I'm also don't know. Got it now? ये पॉलिसी बाय डिफॉल्ट IAM यूजर पे लगा हुआ रहता. Remember this one. This is entry point of question. ఏం చదువుతున్నారు ఏందో మీరు? क्या पढ़ रहे समझ में नहीं आ रहा है? And you people, you are saying you completed IAM. So the basic minimum question, you are unable to give the answer. Huh? Minimum basic. This is silly question. Really, guys. Right. So clear. Exit. You log in as a root user. I hope you're clear how to manage the password properties. User management completed. User password properties completed. Right. So I'm going to copy the history. Right. And I'm going to upload this history file today, guys. Don't worry. Right. So let's see, guys. Right. So now, so we are going to discuss about group management. Right. So group management, guys. So group management is a concept. So first of all, why we need to create the groups? Yes, guys. Here we'll have user and group management in Linux, right? Like the same way in AWS, you'll have IAM. Like the same way in Azure, we'll have Active Directory users. Actually, it's not Active Directory now. Something Entra ID something. They got changed as a Entra ID as a Active Directory. Active before we'll have Active Directory. Now they got renamed as a Entra ID in Azure. Right. So group management. So why we need to create a group? So leave about Linux, guys. You know very well about WhatsApp, right? Okay. So today Avinash is not available, right? So what is your name? Chandramouli. Chandra. It's okay, right? So we have Chandra, right? So Chandra, he's celebrating his birthday. Assume this, he's celebrating his birthday, right? How can I get the history file? You can create. So I'm going to share this history file into the Google Drive link itself only. Then you can download that history file from the Google Drive, right? Vishwanath. So clear, guys? Chandra, he's celebrating his birthday. So actually, this weekend. So Chandra, what he's doing in the sense, he's trying to calling his friends through WhatsApp, right? Assume this Chandra having 10 to 20 friends. So he's sending the invitation message to 20 people. How much time it will take? For 20 people, how much time it will take? We are unable to send the message for 20 people at a time, right? So I think maximum 5 people they're allowing out WhatsApp, right? So like this, we need to send each and every person manually. In a sense, it will take some time. So instead of sending manually, Chandra, what he's doing, he's trying to creating one group, WhatsApp group called friends. Then those 20 people they're going to, so Chandra, he's going to add into that particular WhatsApp group called friends. So instead of sharing the data for 20 peoples individually, Chandra, what he's doing, he's trying to sharing the data into that particular group. All the 20 people, they're going to get the data at a time. He's reducing his work. Like the same way, coming to real-time environment, right? With the help of group concept, as a system administrator, we are going to reduce our work. For example, we have one organization called XYZ. This is called OU. OU stands for Osmania University, right? OU stands for organizational unit. We need to use those words into real time. Organizational unit. So we have one XYZ called organization, right? We are going to call technically organizational unit. So inside the organization, we have assume this 200 members, right, guys? We have 200 members that are working into XYZ organization, right? Those all the 200 members that belongs to the same department or different departments. So we have different departments, right? Mr. Vishwanath, please focus on it. We are going to we are bothering about the drive link and those all stuff later. What I'm trying to teaching, please focus on it. Okay. So now itself only you are going to read. Now itself only you are going to do the practice. No, right? So please focus on it. This is a very, very important concept we are discussing. You people, you're bothering about traveling and history files and those all stuff. చేసే వాళ్ళు కూడా చెప్పరు ఇవన్నీ. जो सच में प्रैक्टिस करते हैं ना वो लोग भी नहीं बोलते. I have shared the link long back. Then you people still you are bothering about traveling. I don't know why. How many files will have in traveling? Tell me. How many of you did installation? Tell me. No one. I know. Simply you are coming and you are attending the session. That's it. There is no use, guys. Waste of time, Get the link from the management like that every day I'm saying. So Prem is a responsible person. He's going to provide the drive link for you, especially for online. I don't know much about offline. From where you got a drive link. I think that guy, Ajay, he is going to provide. So please go and get the link from Ajay. So let's see, focus on it, Vishwanath. So XYZ is a one organization. This is a organization unit, OU. So 200 members will have in this organization. So those people that belongs to different department. For example, we have HR department and we'll have account department. We'll have IT department like this. Different peoples will have different license. Also, you will have into that Google Drive itself only. Satish Chandra. ఇప్పుడు దాకా డ్రైవ్ లింక్ ఓపెన్ చేయలేదు Satish Chandra. So I have uploaded license keys and everything into the drive link itself only. I don't know what you are doing and what you are bothering about the drive link really. So really, did you open the drive link now? No, right? As of now. ఇప్పుడు దాకా ఎవడు ఓపెన్ చేయలేదు. మీరు చేశారా? ఇద్దరు ముగ్గురు అంటే చేశారు అంతే. లైసెన్స్ కీస్ లేవా దాంట్లో? ఉన్నాయా లేవా? ఏం పేరు మీ పేరు? Rajesh, he opened the drive link. He find the license keys into the drive link, but Satish Chandra is saying I'm unable to find the workstation license keys. उनको क्यों आ रहा है, इनको क्यों नहीं आ रहा है? Rajesh, he can get the like license keys and everything from the drive link, but Satish Chandra is unable to get. Why? What happened? सबको वही drive link दे रहे हैं ना? Everybody they are getting same drive link, right? So focus on it. What I'm trying to teaching, please focus on it. So we have HR department, right? Okay. Assume thus in HR department we'll have 10 people that are working as a HR. Example, H1 user, H2 user, then HT user, then H4 user, like this. Right, guys? Now I need to provide some permission for those people. 20 people that are working as a HR. Now I need to provide one permission for those people. Those people, they need to access so and so directory or so and so data. Usually we'll have 20 peoples, right? So we need to provide the permission for 20 peoples individually, right? 20 times we need to execute the command, right? Instead of providing the permissions individually, what we are going to do in essence, we are going to add those all the 20 peoples into HR group. Then instead of providing the permission for user, we are trying to providing the permission for group. If you're providing the permission for group, those all the group permission, it is going to applicable for users also. Clear? So that's why inside the OU, what we need to do, we need to create the groups. HR is a one group. Then U1, U2, sorry, H1, H2, H3, H4. Like this, users, we are going to add into this group. Then we are going to assign the permission. We are going to provide the policies for this HR group. Then this group having few permissions. Same permission, it is going to applicable for members, group members. So like this, we are going to reduce the work. Like the same way, account group. Like the same way, IT group. So like this, we are going to create the group and we are going to add the users into the group. We are going to provide the permissions and access for that particular group instead of providing users. Clear, guys? Yes, no? Right. So coming to group management, we are going to use for commands. Group add is a command to create a create a group. So group mod is a command to modify a group. So group del is a command to delete a group. Right? Then gpasser is a command that is password. This is gpassword, guys. Right? Gpassword is a command to assign a password for group. Guys, not only assigning the password for group, with the help of gpassword, we are going to perform many tasks. I will show you practically. Got it, guys? So gpassword, it's not for assigning the password. We can do many things with gpassword. So I hope you're clear, guys. So in group management also, we are going to discuss 4 commands. Group add to create a group mod to modify the group properties, you can say, and group del to delete the group, gpassword to assign the password for group, right? And not only assigning the password for group, so many things we can do. I'll show you practically what kind of things we can do with the help of gpassword command. What is the use of gpassword command, right? Right. So coming to group. So if you're trying to creating the group, so okay. So we'll have 3 properties for groups. One is group name is a one property, then password field, then GID. That's it. Got it, guys? Only 3 fields will have. Okay. So group name, password, GID will have blank field. If you add the users into the group, those users in that blank field we can get. Right, guys? For example, we are trying to creating one group called Red Hat. Red Hat is a group name. X indicates the password properties. So usually we are going to get 1001 because if you doesn't have any user account, automatically it will take 1001 because we have one user called student. It having student group also. Student group having 1000 is a group ID. If you're trying to creating another group, always you are going to get the 1001. So what we discussed while you are trying to creating the user account, automatically when a group also it will create, right? That group also it having group ID, right? So student group will have student user ID 1000, group ID also 1000. So that's why if you try to creating the new group, sequence order 1001. Maybe if we having few users, maybe you are going to get some different group ID. So I hope you got it, guys, right? So from where we need to get those properties? Inside the etc group, not password. etc password contain user data. etc shadow contain password properties of user. etc group contain local group properties. If you are trying to creating the group, that group related properties, it is going to store inside the etc group. So if you assign the password for group, then what will happen? So those group properties, it is going to store inside the etc G shadow. Got it, guys? That is normal shadow. This is G shadow. So if you're assigning the password, then it is going to store into the etc G shadow. This X, it is going to link to the etc G shadow. So if you assign the password for group, the group password, it is going to store into X. X, it is going to link with whom? etc G shadow file. I hope you got it, guys. Right? So clear. I hope you're clear about group. So now we are going to do a few practical session. According to that, you are going to understand exactly. So I'm going to reset this one again. Guys, we are going very slow, So usually अभी तक मैं user and group management complete कर देता था, you know. So because of you people, I'm teaching very slowly, and then you people, you are not focusing on it. Huh? Linux, it's not that much of easy, guys. Today we are late. What happened, man, Mohan? What is your problem? Tell me, Madan Mohan. Huh? What happened? Are you going to log in exactly from 6 o'clock onwards, Madan Mohan? So let's see, guys. Yeah, log in as a root, right? So now we are trying to creating groups. So how to create the group? Group add is a command. Group add is a command, right? Then group name, for example, Red Hat is a group name. So let's check tail slash etc group, right? See, guys, Red Hat group, it got created successfully. X indicates a password properties. 1001 is a group ID. So because already we have one group called student, I said while we are trying to creating the user account, automatically one primary group it will create. Yes, no. So student user will have, so that's why we'll have student groups also. Student group also. Student group having 1000. So that's why Red Hat group having 1001. And this blank field for members. If you add the group members, then those all the members we can find here. So clear? Then we are trying to creating one more group. So group add is a command. We are trying to modifying the properties for group, right? How many properties will have? Hardly one, right? Group ID only will have, right? So hyphen small g is option. So usually we are going to get 1002, right? But I'm trying to providing something like this 2000. Okay, 2004. Then RHEL is a group name. So let's see, guys, here tail slash CTC group. RHEL group, it got created. X indicates the password properties. 2004 is a group ID. So I hope you're clear. Yes, no? Right. So now we have one more command called group mod. So group mod hyphen help. You're going to get the group mod related options. Right, guys? So group mod space hyphen help. Then hit enter. You're going to get the group mod related option. Hyphen small g, already we know to change the group ID. So primary group ID, we are going to change with the help of hyphen small g. Hyphen h, help. Hyphen n to rename the group. Hyphen n to rename the group. In user, we'll have hyphen small l option, right? To rename the user. Like the same way, if you need to rename the group, we'll have one option called hyphen small n. Hyphen o, non-unique. Non-unique means we are going to assign same group ID for multiple groups. Got it, guys? One group ID we are going to assign for multiple, means we are trying to merging those all the groups. Clear, guys? Same group ID for multiple groups. O means non-unique. P, password. Guys, don't bother about this one. Hyphen capital, this is ch root directory. Doesn't need now, okay? So now let's see here. We are going to rename the group. So let's rename the group. We'll have RHEL group, right? So now we need to modify as a Linux. So how to modify? Group mod is a command, hyphen n is an option, then new name, old name. For example, Linux is a new name, RHEL is a old name. Now, RHEL group, it got renamed as a Linux. See guys, there is no RHEL now. It became Linux. It became Linux, right? I hope you got it. So we have one more option called O. Most of the people, they don't know about O, how to change the non-new group ID. So now let's see here. Group mod is a command -O and G, both. OG. OG means it's not a Pawan Kalyan movie, okay? So OG, only South Indians, they know about OG, okay? One hero will have, guys, Pawan Kalyan, that guy movie. So had to release. Now he's a deputy CM for Andhra. So group mod space -OG. O means non-unique, G means group ID. Both we need to use. Most of the people are going to use only O. At the time you are going to get error. So we should use OG, right? And then we need to provide the group ID. For example, 2004 is a group ID for whom? Linux. Now we are trying to assigning same group ID for Red Hat also. Red Hat having 1001, right? So we are trying to assigning 2004 group ID for Red Hat. So let's see here. See guys, Red Hat group also it having 2004 now. So now those both the groups same groups. It will act like as a one group now. So clear? How to assign the password? Group mod -P is option. Then 1234 is a password. Then to whom? So we are trying to assigning for Linux. So from where we need to get the password properties? etc G shadow, right? So tail /etc G shadow. See guys. So coming to G shadow, again we'll have three fields. This is group name, this is password field, and this blank field is a group admin field. So let's see here. /etc G shadow. Inside the G shadow, how many fields will have? Group name field will have, then password field will have, then group admin field will have. What will be the default password? What default password, man? It doesn't have any password until you assign. While you are trying to creating the groups, by default, it doesn't have any password. So clear, guys? Group name, password, and group admin field. So clear? So now let's see, guys, here. Tail /etc G shadow. See? Linux is a group name. Linux is a group name. 1234 is a password. But this is a clear text password. -P it is going to assign clear text password. Anybody can see. And one more thing, there is no use for password, right? So group password. If you want, you can assign. Otherwise, you can leave it. It's not a problem. It's not a mandatory. And this blank field is a group admin, right? So if you need to assign encrypted password for this group, how? G password is a command. G password, Linux is a group name. Then, so tail /etc. Sorry, guys. Tail /etc group. G shadow, right? So let's see here. We got an encrypted password. How to remove the password from group? G password -R, right? Then Linux is a group name. Then tail /etc G shadow. There is no password for Linux. Then how to remove the password from user? Do we have user accounts? Let's check. So, okay, I'll do one thing. I'm going to create one user add, for example, U1. Then we are trying to assigning the password for U1, password U1, right? Got it, guys? So let's verify tail/etc shadow. So we have the password for U1, right? Then how to remove the password from U1? Password is a command -d, then U1. Password -d, U1, see, password removed successfully. Let's verify tail/etc shadow. There is no password for U1 now. So like this, you can assign, you can remove the password for groups for. So got it, guys. So I hope you're clear. Yes, no, right. So next, so we need to discuss how to add the users into the group. Okay. So, but we don't have much time. So clear, guys, we don't have much time. We are going to continue tomorrow. And it will take 15 to 20 minutes. After completing user and group management concept, I'm going to start sudo permission. You're easy to user it having sudo, right? You're going to execute few commands with the help of sudo, right? Exactly what is sudo tomorrow you're going to know. Super user do. So now let's see here. I have created one user, right? Now again, I'm trying to creating one more user, one group. So -g we didn't discuss, right? So I'll show you exactly what is the use of -g. Now I'm trying to creating one group. Group add is a command. For example, new group, NIT is a group name. NIT group will have, let's see, guys, here, tail/etc group. So we have NIT group. NIT group having group ID called 2005, right? Now we are trying to creating one new user add, for example, U2 -g -u to modify the user ID. Now I'm trying to providing the user ID call 2000, otherwise 2024 -g. We need to provide existing group ID. Now I'm trying to assigning NIT group as a primary group for U2. I hope you got it, guys. NIT is a one group. Already we have this group, right? Now we are trying to assigning this NIT group as a primary group for U2. Usually we are going to get the group called U2. Instead of U2 group, we are trying to assigning NIT group as a primary group for U2 user. Got it, guys? 2005, right? Is a NIT group ID, right? Then hit enter. U2 user account, it got created. Let's see. Tail etc password, right? See. So if you need to use -g, at least one group it should exist, then only we can provide the existing group ID for small g. So if you try to providing some new group ID, don't accept. So it is going to provide the error, boss. There is no such a group like that. Clear, guys? So I hope you got it. So how to provide the primary group for particular user account. So clear? How to delete the groups? Let's see. How to delete the groups? Let's see, guys, here. Group del is a command. Group del is a command. Then we are trying to deleting the group called NIT. Can we delete? No, because this NIT groups, it's assigned for U2 user. First, we need to delete U2 user, then only we can delete NIT group. So what we need to do? User del -r U2. Then delete this NIT group. Now it will delete. See, tail etc group. NIT group, it got deleted, right? So now we are trying to deleting Red Hat group. So group del is a command. Then Red Hat is a group name. It got deleted. Then we are trying to deleting Linux group. That is also it got deleted. So tail slash etc group. See guys, there is no groups. So like this, you can create the groups, you can delete the groups. So tomorrow we are going to discuss how to add the users into the group, how to manage the users inside the group, how to assign the group administrator, those all stuff we are going to discuss tomorrow. So if you having any doubts, any questions, please as of now. हाँ so भूख लग रही है. Yes guys, if you having any doubts, any questions, please. What default password, man? You are bothering about default password, default password. Only you are using one word called default password. Huh? अभी तक मैं इतना बड़ा रामायण बताया. So simply you are asking default password. Default password means వెనకాల లేదేమి ముందు లేదేమి default password అంటే ఏం చెప్పేది నేను. What I need to give the answer. So default password to whom you are going to assign for you. You are asking about which concept. Default password means simply you are saying default password. Suppose I create one user. You create one user, then what will happen? Tell me. User it will create. That's it. Password we are not going to. We need to assign manually. By default, you are not going to get any password for user. Okay. Suppose you created one user. User only it will create. That's it. It doesn't have any password. We need to assign the even for root user also. While you are trying to installing the operating system at that time, we are trying to providing the root user's password manually. It is not going to get any default password. Got it, guys? Mr. Mother Mohan, I hope you're clear. Right. So thank you, guys. So see you tomorrow. Right. Tomorrow we are going to discuss about sudo permissions. Right. Okay, guys. See you. See you tomorrow. Bye. Thank you.